Hi everyone, I'm Bree.
And I'm Erin.
And we are two childhood best friends who have a lot of passions, interests, and questions. And we are using this podcast to get some answers.
Bear with us as we explore parenthood, lifestyle hacks, and a little bit of stuff in between with some great guest speakers. We are Mama Bear.
Oh, Mama Bear, I'm here to stay with wisdom and warmth. Let's light the way. Together we'll laugh, together we'll share. In this cozy space, it's love and care.
We're doing it.
Here we go.
Our very first podcast. What?
I'm very excited.
We've only talked about this forever, so I can't believe we're actually even sitting here. I think my husband and your husband would be like, I didn't think this day would actually come.
No, they will be very shocked, although they've been very supportive.
Yes, very proud.
And we couldn't have done it without a specific husband.
Or
showing us
without
the ropes.
having our kids here. So we're doing it.
Well,
We're making it work.
That's natural.
Okay, our very first podcast is coming out this December. We're dropping it right before
Right for the
Christmas.
holidays.
So excited. So it's only natural we talk about some Christmas themed topics.
Yes, I would say.
Yeah.
I would say it's what I do best.
Yeah, this is your time
This
to shine.
is my time.
I thought it'd be fun to talk about, like, now that we have a new little one, how you've dealt with like splitting time with your families and different traditions you guys have started over the, Christmas seasons, and things you like, things you don't like, things you've stuck with, whatnot.
Yeah, and we can talk about a little bit of things that we're swapping out this Christmas season, a little bit of healthier swaps,
Yes.
if you will.
Yeah, that's something I think we can, I hope to like talk about each podcast.
Right,
Like if
yeah.
we can have a section at the end of each podcast of like, lately, here's a swap I've been doing. Here's how it's worked or not worked.
Right.
In your
Just
case.
working our way towards a minorly healthier lifestyle.
And, not everything's going to stick, but if we find something we like, maybe we can drop it here, drop a link if anyone wants to try
Please
this.
share
swap.
with us.
Absolutely. Or if it's a swap that doesn't work, we'll let you know that too.
All right, well, let's just jump right in here, shall we?
All right, let's start.
I thought it'd be fun to start off talking about, you wanted to talk about splitting time with
Yes.
kids, and what about the biggest thing that goes into that is packing your kids up?
Yeah.
That is such a feat that I didn't realize until I had children.
Right. And I'm already an overpacker.
Yes, and having to, even to go for one night somewhere, the amount of things you have to bring is absolutely out of control.
Yeah, what did Aaron say the other day? We were all packed up. He's like, it looks like we're going away for a week.
Yes, exactly. And if you forget anything, it's just, it's a big conundrum.
Right.
And I know it probably isn't, but in my mind,
Right.
it is.
Yeah. I guess for us, it's not too big of a deal. Like he doesn't even play with toys yet.
Yes.
So he's like extra change of outfit, some diapers, some wipes.
I think my paranoia plays into it though, and I'm
That might
like,
be it.
I need to bring a medication or for literally anything that could happen. Like we could be going to someone's house and I'm like, well, don't forget the bug spray, just in
yeah.
case.
So yeah, this is maybe more of a you thing.
This
but
is a me problem.
I think in general, it's an issue. Yeah.
Yes.
Packing up to go places, especially on these holiday trips. You might maybe bring your gifts, a dish. I don't know what else you're going to bring for that
Right.
holiday party.
Right.
And now everything your kid needs.
And you have to think of extra clothes in case they get in case they get something on them.
Right.
Extra clothes for you in case you get spit up on you.
Right.
Now you need are you kids napping? Where are they napping? Are they in a crib? You need to bring the pack and play. Do
Right.
they use a sound machine? You got to bring that.
Right.
And I'm sure there's a way to make your kids more versatile. However,
Absolutely.
my children, they
Aren't.
like their routine.
And that's like what plays into to having like mom friends now too. Like ideally there's a day where your kids can take a nap in our pack and play
Right.
with our sound machine.
And I don't have to bring my
Yeah,
own.
yeah.
However, my kids are even picky about what blankets they use.
Right, right.
They're kids.
Yeah, they're kids. And we're not there yet, but we still have those same issues. And part of are we mixing in Christmas into this? Because part of what I'm thinking too is we're going to all these different houses and we have a fairly large minivan / SUV. But once the stroller is in there, we keep his bassinet in there because he likes to nap in that. We have his diaper bag. We have, the baby carry, coats, these things.
Absolutely.
And then, like I said, anything for Christmas, you're like, the car is getting full. And then I see you in your car and you've got 2 kids in there.
Yeah, and my car's smaller than my SUV is smaller than your SUV.
I don't know how you do it.
And you got to pack it in. Like, you have to learn how to do the roles. And, like, you know, the girls and I will share a suitcase. And I've had to underpack myself in order to do that because
Oh my gosh.
I would rather them have all of their things and me not have mine. And you know, a lot of the time I do have all the stuff I need because, like you said, I am a chronic overpacker. So I would go on vacation, I'd pack like 12 pairs of shoes, I'd wear one.
You have to.
Know?
Listen, I want it to be that if I'm somewhere and anything could come up and I'm set, nothing stressed. Like, I'm not going to say nothing stresses me out more, but I get very stressed out when, like, you're hanging out with a group of people and they're like, oh, let's go do this. I right away go to think, what am I going to wear?
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't have an outfit
You're
for said
also a planner.
occasion.
You're type A.
That stresses
You're a
me
planner.
out.
You are a planner, like, you know, so you have to. But my thing is, sometimes I pack an outfit thinking I'll want to wear it, and then the time comes, and I am not feeling that outfit, and I'm like, now I have nothing else. And now I'm just going to be in this outfit I don't want to be in, and I'm uncomfortable.
Absolutely. Now I'm thinking we are going to January, and we're going to January. We're going to February and January for a month.
You're going to February in January. You're going to Florida in January.
Is that not the most mom brain?
Yeah.
I started with we're going to January.
I'm like trying to follow you here, and I'm like, we'll get there. We'll get there.
We're going to Florida in January for a month. So we're going for about 4 weeks. We have an Airbnb. It's a business thing, but we get to stay and some family are dropping by. And now I've had to pre-think into a stage of life I don't know what it's going to be like. Like I've mastered, not that I've mastered, like knock on wood, we know what we're doing at 12-week phase. Now I'm thinking ahead to that's, you know, a month and a half, 2 months down the road. He's going to be 4 turning 5 months while we're there. What does he want?
What will he need?
Will he be able to sit up then?
Thing, though.
It's not a third world country. We can buy whatever we need.
Yes, exactly. Because I traveled to Mexico with my kids, and I was very worried that you know they wouldn't have things that I typically would use or need. I mean, however, you need to think they have kids there. Absolutely. They get through, you'll get through too. It's just the comforts that we have of home that you want to bring with you.
My thing too is we had just had this beautiful baby shower back, you know, when I was pregnant. And now I'm like, we have those things for when he turns that age.
Yes.
I just don't know exactly when we're going to need them. Also, is there going to be room? We can barely make it through an outing with packing the car up. How are we going to pack all this stuff into the car to get to Florida?
Oh no, I hear you. We're going to Florida as well in April, but only for about 10 days. And I'm even worried about packing for that. And
are you driving?
We are. Yeah, we're going to drive. I think that is the plan as of right now. It obviously could alter, but that is the plan.
We were going to join Aaron, and now he's driving. I'm flying with
Okay, well that's ideal because he can drive all your stuff down.
He'll take all this stuff.
So my biggest concern is car seats, and with flying, because if we want to go anywhere in Florida, you have to rent a car seat.
I think they're free on some airlines to check.
No, but I'm thinking, to bring it with you, but then I'm carrying car seats with me and suitcases, and it just becomes a lot. And I have brought a wagon with me before, like my big, Wonder Wagon. Yes. It's great. And that was free to check, so it was. It actually came on the plane with me, I believe. I mean, when I got on, I walked it right up to the gate.
Yeah.
So that was great. I just, I guess the point is you just never know what you're gonna need, and you kind of have to go with the flow, and that is not something that, as a parent, you really like to do.
And then I'm thinking, like, we have this pack and play, this great pack and play. We're gonna bring it. That right now. That's our plan for him to sleep in. But then I'm thinking, I hear about this 4-month regression. I hear 4 month is a big deal for setting sleep habits. He's gonna go through that 4th month in his pack and play. And also, is a month like too long to have a baby sleep in a pack and play?
You know what though? I think like if you want to create these versatile children, because you want to have a life full of travel.
Absolutely.
What better time to get used to it than right away, right? Like may as well just get him used to it. And that's what I hope to do with my kids. I mean, we started traveling a little later than that in life, specifically because we had kids during the entire world shutting down. But now we try to travel as much as we can. And I think they're kids. They're fine. They'll bounce back. I think it's more us than them.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't.
No, for sure.
I think you can't worry too much about everything you read about the regressions and stuff like that, because they're gonna happen, but you know they may happen at a different point. And,
right.
But like circling back to Christmas.
Right. Yeah.
I guess you just try to pack light.
Yeah.
But it's not always possible.
No. I also think like this is not sustainable when I have more than one kid. Like I can't.
Right.
Yeah. I think of how much time and energy I spend on packing for Everest and getting him ready to go places. And again, to be fair, it's not that much. Like, he's just an infant still. But then it's only going to get worse. And then one day we're going to have another kid. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if we're lucky enough.
And I do find I am a bit more lenient and relaxed with my second child.
Kid, yeah.
Not saying because I've been through this, because my two kids are completely and totally absolutely opposite. Like, they could not be more opposite. But I think just because maybe I forgot something with my first child and I found a solution.
Right.
So now I've learned, like, okay, if I don't have this, I can make this work.
Right.
Or, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so sound machine. I've now downloaded an app on my phone.
Right.
So if I don't have the sound machine,
Boom.
Great. I just put my phone in there. No problem. You know, easier solutions. Things that I'm already bringing anyways.
Yeah. No, I know. We haven't done too many of those things. A lot of the naps on the go have just been like contact naps so far. Like, I'm not putting him down in another room
love a
yet.
contact nap.
Yeah. Oh, love
Nothing like a contact nap.
except for when it's all he'll do.
Right. Yes. Then it gets exhausting.
But no, yeah, with the Christmas season around and like all these big travels, it's just like trying it for the first time. A lot of these things, like, he's now just getting into like a snowsuit or like some, you know, colder weather droppings. Like, now do we need all these different layers we didn't need before or whatever? So
and that's a whole other like conversation about, you know, you can't wear this snowsuit in the car seat. So then you have to, that's something else extra you have to pack, because then you have to make sure he has warm enough clothes and the blankets in the car seat. It's just
it's a lot.
Everything's
listen, that's what I was saying before. Like, I'm so stressed with with like posting photo of him. I took this cutest photo and I was going to when he was first born. I shared a lot, and then I started getting some messages and things like, "Oh, your baby shouldn't do this, or you shouldn't do this." I'm like, okay, well, now I don't want to share anything.
Right.
And now I'm just like, don't want to put it out there. But then that's my problem. You know what I mean? I should not be affected by things people are saying. I should freely.
I mean, easier said than done, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, especially when it comes to your kids, you kind of take everything to heart, and so do I.
100%, because I'm still just figuring it out. I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
And so when someone says I'm doing something wrong, I'm like, am I?
I think we're all just figuring it out, though.
Yeah.
Truly. That's what this podcast is. We're just figuring it out.
Yeah.
We're all figuring it out.
And if someone did figure out the ultimate travel packing list, please share.
Please
I would
send it
love
our way.
a little, like, just paper to pen. Like, I got that.
Yeah.
I got that. I'm covered. I'm good to go.
Yep.
Here's how many diapers I need. But remembering a top for you is super important, I think. Like, I've just, I have a little bit of spit up.
Oh, there's been many a days that I've just worn the puke with pride.
It's just part of it. If I've not been spit up on.
Yeah, you know what? You just
it's
say,
weird.
I'm a mom.
That's it.
And then
I'm a
just
mom.
move on.
And this is Mama Bear. I'm gonna bear it all. So I think with talking about traveling and packing and all these things, like, should we talk a little bit about Christmas traditions and splitting time?
Yes, let's do that.
So I want to like kick it off by like asking you a bunch of questions, because I have a lot of questions about how you manage your Christmas time.
Oh, because you're new to having to split with kids.
Yeah. I have always struggled around the Christmas time because I love the holidays, and I have such a big family. So my parents are split. I know your parents are split.
Oh, yeah, my parents have been split since I was 12, so this is not new to me.
It's not new to you. I love to be at everything. I don't like to miss any holiday gathering.
You do have FOMO.
Big time. Yeah. So forever, it's been, you know, Christmas Day Eve, and sometimes you show up, you eat the meal, you open the gifts, you give the gifts, and then you're on the next place. You feel like, gosh, I just showed up to that place, just took gifts from them, and then moved on. It's not personal. It doesn't feel like you get to actually sit down and enjoy their presents. So now we're trying to be like, gosh, now we have a 12-week-old. I have my in-laws now. We have so many different gatherings to go to. How have you, since having a family, decided, like, how do you guys work through that? Yeah.
So I will say my family's really great, because they know that I get stressed about trying to split the time and making sure everyone sees my kids, because, you know, all the grandparents want to see the kids. You know, it is, like I said, my parents have been split since I was 12. However, bringing my kids into the picture now, it is different, because, you know, Christmas is more about them now. And I am trying to really focus, like you said, you feel like everything's so rushed.
Yeah.
I'm trying to really bring it back to, and I try to teach my kids this, Christmas is about being with your family.
Right.
If everything else goes awry, whatever, as long as you got to see the people that you love, right? That's really all that it comes down to, and all that it matters. I will say, in the past, we've only had 3 Christmases. My husband's, my dad's, my dad, and my mom are really amazing, and they will do one together.
Oh, they do.
So my parents are still great friends, and my dad will go to my mom's house for a Christmas, and we will have one all together, which has been really, really amazing.
Oh, we couldn't do that.
And then in the past few years, my dad and my stepmom have got a divorce as well. But my stepmom was in my life for so long that we still do see her for Christmas. So we would have typically those three, right? We'd have my in-laws, my mom and my dad together, and then my stepmom.
Can we talk about how great it is that your mom and dad will do Christmas together?
I know. And you know what?
That is huge.
It is. And they do it for any family gathering. It's amazing. They actually are. I've been very lucky because even though they are divorced, it's never really interfered in that way.
Right.
Like they'll get together, no problem. We always do a huge Thanksgiving. They come to that together. They come for any birthday party. My mom, like I said, my mom hosts, sometimes our birthdays at her house. My dad will come there.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've always pushed for that, but then I also like have, you know, my parents aren't as comfortable doing things like that together. And also I have 3 step siblings and they have their significant others and their children. So it starts to get a little murky. And how many events do you do? Do my dad and my stepmom come to things with my mom and stepdad, or do we, it just starts getting messy and you're like, you want to respect everyone, but you want to have quality time with everyone, but then you start feeling spread thin over the holidays. There's only so many days.
And I think that's the biggest thing. I think my parents know that I start to feeling spread thin.
Yeah.
And they kind of just put anything aside, and for the holidays, when it comes down to it, they just want to see their grandkids.
Right.
And their children, of course.
You know what will be tricky is when your siblings get married and have...
Well, my brother brings his family.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
He essentially is married, just without the ring.
Right.
But he brings his family.
Yeah.
And then my sister typically brings her boyfriend, but they're young. They don't have any kids or anything yet. Or sometimes it's just my sister, depending.
Only because I think of my siblings have children and don't have all of their children all the time.
Right.
So that's a tricky part.
So your siblings also have separate families.
Split families as well. So when just say my dad's Christmas, if everyone's able to make it, all of my siblings, maybe not all the kids will make it, which is really what the holidays are for. So then some of those kids will only be at my mom's Christmas. So that's a lot of the struggle for us, is not only, okay, where are the 4 siblings going to be, but then where are all the grandchildren going to be?
It becomes so complicated when you're trying to gather everyone's schedules and where are you going to be and where. Somehow, by the grace of the universe, it has worked out for us this year. We have something every single weekend, and for 3 days straight, and then again on the weekend, but we are seeing everybody, and I think it's going to be okay.
That's good.
We did have to do 4 separate Christmas this year. My mom and my dad, like I said, do typically go together. However, my mom has to work this year on Christmas, so my dad did still want to see us on Christmas, so we're going to do his separate.
And so you're going to his house?
Yeah, we'll do Christmas. We like to do our own, just the 4 of us at home, Christmas morning. We save that for ourselves. We like to have that just for us.
Okay, so this brings me to my next question, which is something I think every single day about. I'm so excited. Little Everest, he's 12 weeks old. I have all these little Christmas outfits for him. I can't wait. I'm pulling out all our Christmas decorations, and I'm like, okay, now I have a child. Yeah. What traditions do I want to start? So exciting. What do you guys do?
So one of the traditions we have that I can think of off the top of my head is every year when we set up our Christmas tree, we put on a Christmas movie. We put all of our Christmas pajamas on, and we set up our Christmas tree together.
Wait, does Walter participate?
Yes, he is a great sport. He knows that Christmas is so important to me. He knows that I love it. We put up our Christmas tree. I know this is controversial. We put it up at the beginning of November.
So surely it's artificial.
It is artificial, yes. And that is, what I would love a real Christmas tree. However, I am not willing to wait.
That's my issue. I want it a month out. At least, right? Because I want takes so long to set everything up. You need it up at least a month, but I want the real. So we just went this past weekend. We're recording this. It's November 26th. So I've had mine up for a few days now, but that's I was already itching to get it.
Even that is
it's
late.
Getting late for you. And your mom. I know your mom's a bit Christmas crazy.
So my mom actually told me the other day she couldn't come over and hang out because she had to put her Christmas decorations up.
Absolutely.
So that took precedence. My husband puts on this great, he might kill me for saying this, but this great Santa onesie that he wears every single year. And I have a onesie as well. It's more like, I don't know, just Christmas pattern that got tied over pregnancy, but I still pushed my body into that onesie. Can't break tradition. And we set up our Christmas tree. And then we also have every single Christmas Eve, I will make cinnamon buns. And then in the morning, I'll bake them, and we have those for breakfast. I just had a friend over this weekend
who said the exact same thing.
Oh.
Maybe I'm missing the cinnamon bun tradition.
Well, you should get on it. Honestly, I can send you my recipe. It's great.
Well, is it folic acid free?
I have no idea. I'm going to say it's not free of anything. It's just a bunch of sugar. But it's delicious.
Okay, so you do the cinnamon buns. Wait, was that on the day you decorate?
No, so I make the cinnamon buns on Christmas Eve, and then I bake them Christmas morning.
Wow.
So then we have them for breakfast Christmas morning.
Yeah. Well, we do grapefruits cut in half with a little bit of sugar.
Oh, wow. Sounds just as exciting.
We've done that my whole childhood. And luckily, Aaron, being the health nut he is, has jumped right on board with grapefruit for breakfast. But I don't know how he would react to this.
You're going to have to add in a cinnamon bun. It's Christmas.
Let me see. What else did we do? Like, one big thing was getting like Christmas photos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
did you guys ever to see Santa?
So we didn't. But Aaron like took photography in college.
Okay.
Like he went to like college for digital photography.
Okay.
I'm not sure he finished, but like he knows his way around a camera. Enough. So when I was pitching to him, let's go get Christmas pictures done. I'm like, gosh, these are looking expensive. You want the nice ones? They're going to be, a few $100s. I'm like, we could do this ourselves.
Oh, you're talking like family Christmas photos.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got photos in the fall.
Yes.
So we don't typically do family Christmas photos every year. No.
Okay.
However, I do make my dad dress up as Santa Claus and take pictures with my kids, and they do know it's him.
Do they?
However, he is Santa's helper. And they're okay with that. Okay. Santa can't be everywhere at once.
Absolutely.
It's ridiculous.
And do you do that on Christmas?
No, just whenever he can around Christmas spirit. Christmas season.
He comes over with Christmas spirit.
Actually, he does it reluctantly, but he does it.
Yeah, so. That's cute. And then anything else?
Tradition
with the girls, like what have you done that when they grow up, they're going to be like, oh, my mom always did this with us, or oh, this was our tradition. I want to do this with my family one day.
Honestly, I'm hoping they carry on the cinnamon bun thing and they can make it for me one day, because that would be great. And we do the Santa Claus parade just like everybody, really. What else do we do? Oh gosh, I feel like we do a lot of things over the holidays. We always go visit my husband's family in America. That's just been since we had kids. We started doing. He's done it his whole life.
Right.
But now I go and we go with our kids, and that's always a really, really great time to be able to see all the cousins together. Yeah, it's really great doing that. We always do gingerbread houses. Some of the basic stuff that we do.
I'm trying to think of for us.
Oh, I thought of one. You know what? Every Christmas Eve, I do a box. They get to open one present, and it's always pajamas and a treat.
Oh, how
and
cute.
then we watch like a Christmas movie together. Yeah.
So listen, I have this issue that I want to do all of these things that you're talking about, but it's an uphill battle. Like, Aaron has no interest. Okay. Like the other day I was like, let's be intentional. What Christmas movies do we want to watch this season? And I was like, should we come up with I threw out a number, I don't know, like 10, which is low, I thought. I was like trying to be kind.
Feels very low. I started months ago.
Me too. I'm talking as a family. You are forced to watch this with me.
Okay.
And he was like, it might have even been lower. It might have been like 5. Like 5. He's like, 5? And he was like, we're going to sit down and watch 5 Christmas movies? And I was like, at bare minimum.
And here is the big question. What were they in your mind?
Okay. I have the minimum. Okay. My family's is always a year without a Santa Claus. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I actually haven't. I might have to sit down and watch it with you.
It's one of those claymation old ones.
I gotta be honest, I'm not a big claymation fan.
We love them because there's this one. There's this one with the misers in it. There's Heat Miser and Snow Miser.
Okay.
And
I remember you singing these songs as a child. You would always sing these songs.
Yeah, so that's a big one. We love that because I love the songs. I love the misers.
I do remember that being on your television.
And then, so that's a big thing. And then, obviously, Elf.
Yes, Elf, of course.
Is a huge one.
I mean, you are.
And then,
Will Ferrell's big fan.
Of course. And then Spirited. Have you seen that? Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. It's the new one.
Oh,
Apple
you
TV
know what?
last year.
I think I did watch it last year.
So
I might have to redo it, though, because I don't really recall it.
Oh, okay. We'll recall.
Okay.
Because it's become one of my staples in our house now around Christmas to play the Spirited soundtrack.
Okay.
Like the soundtrack is so good.
Okay, I have to rewatch it because I don't remember it.
Wait, now that I remember, we're recording. I forgot for a second. I'm people are gonna be like, the soundtrack's not that good. It's Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds singing.
This has become a judgment zone.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, I love it. So back off. It's a great movie. No, obviously there's the other staple Christmas movies, whatever. But yeah, those 3. I was like, if this year, those are the 3 I want to watch.
I really like Christmas with the Cranks.
I don't know if
people like that, but I really love it.
No, I don't think. Is that the one where they can't find the ham?
Yes, they can't find the ham.
That's
it is. I love that movie. And then I also am just a big Hallmark fan.
Me
I know
too.
they're all
I'm
the same
so
and
bad.
They're silly, but I'm a sucker for a silly little love story.
Yeah, we did turn on. What's the new one this year on Netflix?
Oh gosh,
Hot Frosty.
Oh, I haven't watched it yet.
I
was actually trying to save it to watch with my daughter. Is it acceptable for a 4-year-old?
well, they make it acceptable, but the amount of slow panning scenes down his body, I'm like, come on. No, it takes like the corny. Maybe I just haven't seen a Hallmark in a year.
Corny.
But this one takes it to a new level. Like this one is beyond. Like I had to turn it off.
I'm actually pretty convinced that you and I could come up with a Hallmark movie and film it in your backyard. Like I do think that.
They're so bad.
But I love them.
I do love them.
I just love them.
This one is just incredibly cheesy. I don't know. Like I put it on I was on the treadmill the other day and Aaron jumped on the bike and we're together and he's watching a bit of it. And I came back with, the next day. I'm like, gosh, that was so bad.
Oh yeah. You don't want to watch any of them then.
That was so bad. No, I've watched them all. I love them all.
Yeah.
This one's particularly bad. No. This one's,
okay,
just
watch
watch
it. Have to watch it.
Come back. Let me know what you think.
Yeah. We'll come back to it.
And then what's the other one? It's Chad Michael Murray.
Oh, is that one come out yet?
It is out.
Okay, because didn't it just come out then?
Yeah, and it's like essentially like a brothel. Like not a brothel, but like a male review.
Oh, so I did see the preview for that, but I haven't watched that one either. There was one that I watched on Netflix, and I'm totally blanking. But I typically just watch the ones where they're about, cookie baking contests and
or the Vanessa Hudgens ones. Have you seen those?
I've seen all the princess ones. I've seen all those. And then I actually do want to see the new Lindsay Lohan one, which
I saw it last year.
No, there's another one. So I saw that one. There's another one coming out.
Continuing?
I don't think so. I think it's just another Lindsay Lohan Christmas movie.
Well, you know what's funny is in these ones on Netflix is the girl from Mean Girls is also in it.
Okay,
what's her name? Lacey, maybe?
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Anyway, it turns on her TV at one point, and on it is the Lindsay Lohan one, and she goes, "Oh, I think I went to school with that girl."
Oh, that's so funny. They did a little callback to Mean Girls.
And then in the other one, in the one with Chad Michael Murray, they're in this restaurant or something, or in this bar, and she's looking at like all the like awards they've won or whatever, and on it there was like a news bulletin of like the princess, like Vanessa Hudgens, came to the bar and enjoyed like a holiday there or something.
Okay.
So like they're trying to like mingle them all together.
That's
or
fun.
whatever.
That's fun.
It is fun.
No.
Yeah, so I guess along the theme of like Christmas, I was just wondering if like you had any tips going into this first year and how to like stay present in the moment with
like I said, I think that you just need to remember that if anything goes wrong, like you have all these plans and all these traditions that you want to do, which is great, and they're also wonderful, but you need to just remember what matters is just like being with the people that you love.
Right.
And that's, my daughter's 4, of course, she's all I want presents. Yes. That's just what they do. But I'm really trying to instill in her that, that's not what this is about.
So then what do you do for presents?
I mean, of course I get my kids presents. I try not to overdo it on the toys because we have so much family that we see. We're filled. And I do get rid of toys. Like I get rid of them all the time, or we have a local buy nothing group and I'll post stuff on there constantly. But we of course get our kids presents. We get them toys. We get them. I try to get them, some pajamas and some clothes, which obviously they're not too excited about.
Yeah.
I try not to overdo it.
I think what we're gonna do is like, obviously as a baby, we could do nothing and just be fine. But like setting a tradition for the future, I think we want to do like 3 gifts, or like one that's practical, like clothes or something. One that's like, I don't know, a toy or something they've been looking forward to, and then one that like aids a trip in the future or like a sport in the future, like skis.
Experience gifts are
or ski lessons
great.
Or
experience gifts are great. So actually we always do gifts with the cousins, and this year instead of doing gifts, we're gonna do Disney on Ice. So
see,
that's like
great.
Yeah, so that was
I
that
would
was
much
great.
prefer that.
Yes.
And then like, do Walter get each other gifts?
Not typically. We don't do gifts. We do like something little with the kids, but we don't generally do like a big gift.
Yeah.
We kind of just focus on the kids because really
Christmas is for them.
Right.
And you'll
we
get
just
what
buy
you want.
things throughout the year that we need or want, so we don't usually do big gifts for each other. We
try
never
to
really have.
Plan like a trip. Like,
okay,
so this year we're going to go to Florida in January. So like that's our gift.
Yes.
It's already going to be expensive.
And we typically do a trip every year as well. So we do try to put our funds towards that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Instead of getting like another sweater or whatever that you'll get yourself anyway.
I was going to say, if I want another sweater,
I'll get it myself.
I'll log on and
yeah. Okay. Now we wanted to do like a swap section every podcast. So talking about like a healthier alternative for something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've thought of anything. I didn't put too much thought to do exactly what we're going to do.
I do try to swap when I can, like maple syrup and honey in my baking, as opposed to like regular refined sugar.
Oh, that's a great tip.
Yeah.
Do you just try it and hope it works, or?
So it doesn't always work, and my husband will attest to this. That lately I have made cookies, and I am a self-acclaimed good baker.
Yes.
I think my cookies are typically pretty good.
Yeah.
lately something is off, and
oh, no.
I'm certain I'm trying to substitute a lot of my.
So just because this is the healthy alternative swap section does not mean it's successful.
Okay, something is off. So I've swapped, regular flour for whole wheat flour.
Right.
And that's been going fine.
Yeah.
I do find it is a bit drier.
Yeah.
So sometimes you do have to add a little bit more moisture.
Yeah, I find that too.
Yeah, when you're baking. I always say, my husband's very, like, you have to put the exact amounts of everything that it calls for in the recipe. I say that with baking, you really do.
You absolutely do.
With cooking, you don't have to do that.
No.
Like, you don't need to measure the amount of peas you're putting in. He does. It drives me nuts. But with baking, it is like a science.
Absolutely.
So it does make it a little more difficult to do swaps for things.
Yes.
However, I'm trying my best. So
what we need is either to make our own cookbook where we have tried out these swaps and like just start like writing them down, like what we swapped out, or find someone who's done this already.
Yeah, I'm
like
gonna go with the latter because I don't think that I have the skills to create a cookbook.
No, I absolutely not. But if you figure out a swap and like let me know.
I will. I've always wanted to make little recipe cards and put them in a book so that when I'm older I can give them to my children. Isn't that cute? I haven't done it, but maybe one day.
That's cute.
So I have been trying to swap out honey and maple syrup for some of the refined sugar.
Right.
Now, obviously, those two things don't have the same properties.
No.
So I find with muffins, it works totally fine.
Yeah.
It works great.
Yeah.
And then cookies, I bought and I haven't done too much research on how much healthier this is for you, but I bought like an erythritol and monk fruit sugar. It is not. It's not it. Same, yeah. It's not going well.
Yeah, I tried those too.
What I've gathered is it doesn't I don't even know the word caramelize.
Okay.
Quite like regular sugar does.
I tried to make caramel with it.
It doesn't mix in.
It doesn't because I think the melting point is different.
That is what I've read, is that the melting point is higher.
Right.
So I made these chocolate chip cookies with it, and they were just chunky, and I had to throw the whole batch out. They weren't even salvageable. Like, it was so bad. So I'm like, you know what? That one's not working. I have made chocolate chip cookies with maple syrup, and it has worked.
Yeah.
And then they weren't exactly like the great, like, I like my chocolate cookies flat and chewy.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and it's hard to get that without using all the typical ingredients.
I'm sure I have much of an opinion.
I do.
This. Yeah.
But coconut sugar is great.
It's worked.
Coconut sugar has worked for me.
And then I always wonder, like, how much better is coconut sugar than sugar? Like, is it much better?
Right.
It surely is better.
I like to tell myself it's much better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
me too. Yeah.
Even if it's like not.
Someone log in and tell us
the
difference. Is it worth the swap? What's one I've done?
I think you guys always are.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking which one do I want to talk about? I think the biggest thing is right now, I think I try and do everything grass-fed.
Oh,
so originally we just swapped everything to like organic or like the best we can. Try to buy everything as organic as possible. And now lately it's been like, okay, not all organic is made the same. So with milks and butters, like and meats, like, is it grass-fed? And then if you want to take that one step further, it's like, is it pasture raised? Because grass fed and pasture raised aren't always the same thing.
This is exhausting to me, and
it's
I just feel like I want the best for me and my kids and what we're eating, and my husband, of course.
Yes.
But add him in there, I guess. But it's difficult.
Yeah, I think the tough thing is like, wading through all these things, because I wouldn't have thought of it. I would go out shopping like, okay, I always typically try to buy the organic options already, and then my husband kind of latched onto this idea, took it one step further, and figured out this grass fed. Now we're hearing like grass fed might mean not the same as.
That's the thing with all of the laws and stuff and everything.
They can just slap a label.
You never know. You never know unless you're literally growing it in your own backyard. You just never know.
So, but that's the swap we're trying to do right now. Is grass fed butter, grass fed milks, and we kind of live by that. And gosh, the butter's so good.
In my very uneducated opinion, everything that you do is a little bit better than doing nothing.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
It's like going to work out. Like, just getting up and moving. Just go for a walk.
It's something, right? You're trying. You're trying your best. Yeah. And that's all you can really ask for, especially as parents. Like,
absolutely.
You can just try your best.
Just keep going. So, no, those are our swaps. I have another swap I really want to talk about, but I don't know everything about it. So I'll maybe save it for next time.
Okay, yeah. Save it.
It's like a big swap that we've made in our life, and we do it I'm gonna table it.
So save it.
Stay tuned for our January episode for this mega
riveting.
Which I guess we can talk about that. So next month we're gonna release another podcast, hopefully in January, And we'll talk about like our changes for the new year and different things like this. We're not exactly sure what our topics will be, but I hope that you found this podcast somewhat interesting and decide to sit down and join us. And if you have any fun topics or ideas or guest speakers that we can have on,
please let us know.
Comment, let us know, and let us know what you think of this. And again, we're super excited, still a little bit nervous, but ready to take this on.
I'm ready to dive in.
And really bear it all.
Yeah.
Ready to bear it all.
Thanks for bearing with us.
That's right. Yeah, thanks for bearing with us.